Good morning again, everyone. Good morning. Want to make sure I can see everybody. So as some of you likely know, today is the day that we celebrate Buddha's birthday. And April 8th is actually the day that is traditionally assigned in the Soto Zen tradition for the birth of the Buddha. How do they know it's April 8th? There wasn't even an April 8th. So anyway, we got to pick something, right? We're going to have a ceremony and a picnic in Bromer Park, and everyone is welcome to come. There will be birthday cake and a short ceremony. So when we celebrate Buddha's birthday, we're doing this as an expression of the reality of our practice. That we, as a community, shelter and support the growth of Buddha, awakening, wisdom, compassion, engagement. We do this here at Ocean Gate. We do it in the wider community. We do it in every aspect of our lives. So our commitment to this way of life, this way of being, brings forth beauty and flourishing, shared life of respect, integrity, kindness. It reflects a commitment to a transformation of who we are and who we experience ourselves to be and how we want to live with others. So we take refuge, we say, we return to, refuge means to fly back, to the three Sangha jewels. Buddha, the true nature of our interdependence, the mystery of living reality. Dharma, the teachings that guide and support us, that help us see clearly and act together with all beings. And Sangha, the community of people endeavoring to live a life of sanity and goodness together, as well as the wider community, the way that we all awaken to what's real in this world. So according to the Japanese tradition, as I said, Shakyamuni Buddha was born in 566 BCE, April 8th, in Nepal. So different Buddhist traditions have different dates for this, but scholars agree that there was likely a person, an actual person, that was born in that part of the world about that time. Since, I have to say this as an aside, since what this person said was recorded and followed, chances were good this person was a he and identified as a he. But regardless of that. So we could leave it at that and just say, yes, this was born. But we need to talk about it as a way to understand our gratitude to all those who give us wisdom, teaching, guidance, who inspire us. And listening to the stories about Buddha and understanding them about what they mean for us is a way to do that. Each time we do, we can see them in new ways. We can learn something new. Every religious tradition is filled with stories, right? They may seem preposterous, to our way of thinking now. But they're meant to tell us something about ourselves. They give us an opportunity to look at them and see what they mean for us. In this case, they encourage us to consider what Buddha is, what birth is, and how we celebrate awakening. So I want to tell you one story about Buddha's birth, and here's how it goes. In the land of the Shakya clan, a woman, Maya, sometimes Queen Maya, Maya means love, the wife of a clan leader, visited a beautiful garden, Lumbini Garden. Some say she was on her way to her childhood home to give birth to her first child. Some say she was about to give birth and she just wanted to go hang out in a garden for a while. So as she walked in the garden, a flowering tree bent down to her to support her, and she gave birth. It is said the music filled the air, blossoms rained down, and two nagas are like dragons or protectors of wisdom, rained sweet water down upon the baby Buddha. It's interesting to note that all of the important moments of Buddha's life occurred under a tree. So his birth was under a tree. The transformative experience of interrelatedness he experienced as a child was under a tree. His enlightenment was under the Bodhi tree, and his death was under a tree. So there's this really wonderful interweaving with what we call the natural world, as if it's something else, and with trees in particular. So then directly after his birth, the baby Buddha stood up, walked 7 steps to the north, and at each step, a lotus bloomed under his feet. On the 7th step, he pointed with his right hand to the sky and his left hand to the earth, and with the voice of a lion said, "In heaven above and earth below, I alone am the world honored one. I will dispel suffering in the entire world." In the English translation of the Pali version, they say that immediately after birth, the Buddha stands firmly on his feet and, having taken 7 strides, looks around and utters the statement in the fearless voice of a lion's roar. Okay, the first time I heard this, I thought, really? And I also thought, oh man, another arrogant, exclusivist statement. You know, why is it I alone? What I can do this, I can do that. So I dug a little deeper. We want to ask, what has this to do with me? What has this to do with our world? One way of looking at it is it tells us something about the power of Buddha's life, how remarkable and transformative it is when the teachings of awakening enter our lives and we live by them. So we use our imagination. People have used their imaginations forever to try and describe what it means when we're alive with life, right? The courage, the transformative power, the kind of preposterousness of it all. So when we look at this deeply, we say, who is Buddha? The great teacher Matsu said, this mind itself is Buddha. A. Dogen, who founded our particular school, said, this mind itself is Buddha, is most intimate. So remembering that mind is not just our thinking capacity, it's our heart. Shin is heart and mind. It's the basis of who we are. So most intimate means every day, day after day, in the midst of what is most ordinary, most trying, most beautiful. Awakening is our life just as it is. It doesn't need to be anything else. When we come close to this, when we let this touch us, we open ourselves to seeing reality more clearly, acting more in sync with reality, being transformed so that we really understand, even for a moment, that we're no different, we're not separate from everything else. We open ourselves to gratitude for the teachings, for the people that inspire us, for a path of peace and connection and justice, and for the community of people who together do our best to live with wisdom and compassion. So this is not an arrogant statement. It's not in praise of one being or over another, or one way over another. It's a statement that affirms the dignity of each life, each being, each dimension of our world. All lives are precious, and everyone has the ability at any moment to completely embody wisdom and compassion, integrity, connection, giving, joyfulness, peace, wisdom. And these lives, by the way, are not limited to humans. All lives, trees and cats, beetles and roses, oceans and rocks, all have dignity and value as themselves, not just for what we can use them for. I've been reading this book recently called The Whisper of Rocks. Has anybody heard of this? Oh, it's quite wonderful. This woman is a geologist, and she was an academic geologist. And she got kind of tired of that world. So she left and just started paying attention to rocks and studying the myths with rocks. And so she writes this book that weaves together the geology of rocks and the ways people have regarded rocks and how rocks create our world. It's quite wonderful. The great poet Esau said, "Even the lowly bamboo shoots proclaim to the world, I alone am the world honored one." So you get this? The I that Buddha and Esau are referring to is the I that realizes its complete connection and its particularity. So we have an opportunity each day to express our realization of this interconnection, this connection that's deeper than anything we can even think of, and how it's expressed in our unique lives. This is a challenge that the teachings pose us. So Buddha took 7 steps with his own feet. He made his statement in his own voice. So this is really important to remember. Each of us is the reality of connection and is completely unique. We live out that reality with all beings. We speak with our own voices. We live with our own unique histories and identities and gifts. And we are interwoven more deeply than we can imagine. So the 7 steps are, the 6 steps are thought, we can think of them in 2 ways: north, south, east, west, up, down. Just the directions that we have. Also, it's sometimes thought about in terms of the realms: hungry ghost realm, realms of the titans fighting gods, human realm, heavenly realms. But that world is a world of isolation. It's a world where we're cut off. The 7th step is the step where we are not bound by anything, even though we are, because we're unique and human. It is a step of awakening. That seventh step. It is the I that can take that seventh step, steps beyond and also includes the six realms. So knowing ourselves to not be different from all beings, we're less bound by our delusions, more inclined to generosity, intimate connections. The idea of living a potent life, a life of courage. So we are an individual, unique and expressive, and at the same time, there is an unfathomable depth of our interconnectedness, our true nature, that we're alive with ourselves and all beings. In that moment, Buddha is born, awakening is born, wisdom and compassion are born and are expressed. So this is embodiment. We say we embody, we aspire to embody this tradition, to live it out, to allow it to become alive and have the courage to actually express it. This is the fearlessness of the lion's roar. So our task is to make real the lion's roar, Buddha's voice. And this is a creative act. We're all different, so it's a creative act. We do it in the midst of our particular situations, our particular challenges. And you know what? The world rejoices when we do this. You can almost hear the sigh of relief, can't you, when Buddha expresses itself? There's, no matter how much the difficulty, when we experience ourselves together, addressing the world with wisdom and compassion, we pay attention and respect and have gratitude for all the aspects of our world. There's some ease there. There's some communion there, isn't there? So today we celebrate the Buddha's birthday. We do it by being together, by living our lives. And we have a ceremony in which we become the Nagas and we pour sweet water over the baby Buddha. So when we do that, then we can say to ourselves, how often do I pour the sweet water of the Dharma into my own heart, into my life? How often am I just too busy to pay attention? How often do I get discouraged and feel like, oh, man. And then you can pour the Dharma, the refreshing, sweet water, into your life with other beings and find community there and courage. The Buddha said to his disciples at the end of his life, be ye lamps, Deepa, unto yourselves. But he also said, hold fast to the lamp, which is the Dharma. I love it when people come here and hear these teachings and share these teachings with me. But the most important thing is that you find out what's real for yourself. And this is one place where you're welcome to do it with good friends who are also trying to do it. So he says, be a lamp unto yourself, an interconnected, light-giving source. Hold fast to the lamp, which is the Dharma, which is the way. And these are not two different things. We are the lamp, we are the Dharma, we are life itself. So is everything else. So when we remember this, we become a lamp not just for ourselves, but for others as well. And it's not like, follow me, I'm going to light the way for you. It's more, I'm adding my light one of my teachers used to sing, Blanche Hartman. She used to like to sing This Little Light of Mine. I am not going to make you do that. She was in her youth a very dedicated communist and also a car mechanic and a sewing teacher, which she said she never thought she would be in her life. So the ceremony that we're going to do in Bromer Park is to have a nice picnic. We'll do the ceremony. We'll have a birthday party and cake. And everyone's welcome to come. Bring your imperfect Buddha selves and enjoy the sunshine, the flowers, the spring, and each other. Suzuki Roshi, about the baby Buddha, we call it Techno Buddha. Shinshu found it, and it's really jazzy. It's gold and glittered, and it's really something. Suzuki Roshi said about the ceremony and all the ways that we're living this Dharma world together. The flower shrine and altar we have right now is a very tentative thing, not a permanent one. I think this is very meaningful. The Soto practice is something like this always. With this spirit, we should celebrate Buddha's birthday, even though the way we celebrate is not perfect. So this is a spirit of caring, of making real in every circumstance, not perfection. Please, not perfection. That is such a colossal waste of time. It's about bringing wisdom and compassion into our lives and our community. So as you go about your days, I ask you to spend some time reflecting what our lives, individual lives, and our lives together in this world would be like if we each put this respect and celebration of all beings into practice each day. No perfectionism. Okay. Each day, Buddha's birthday. We may think we're just one small being. What can we do? It's so easy to slip into that, isn't it? But that's not the way of our teachings. Our teachings are that each one of us, each being, is a part of the whole. And we can completely trust that our lives connect and impact all other lives. So that's how we celebrate the birth of the Buddha. Okay?